What up, world? Welcome to another episode of Rage Review, and today we're actually tapping in with episode 5 of Agatha All Along. Now, this particular episode was actually pretty interesting. It was really about them going on to the third trial on the Witch's Road, and this particular trial was for Agatha, and it was about her facing her proverbial and metaphorical demons from her past, and it had a lot to do with her mother, and it was interesting how they went about it. But this particular episode, we're gonna jump right into it. It started with the Salem 7 infiltrating the Witch's Road, and of course, you know, they want to kill Agatha, and because Agatha now has a little ragtag group, they want to kill all of them. So it was interesting seeing them go about just everything that was transpiring. They realized that the same spell that they used to bring Aubrey Plaza's character into the Witch's Road, they forgot to close the door on that. It was like some magical door that they opened and they forgot to close it. And because they forgot to close it, the Salem 7 has now entered the chat. And you take this down. Whew. The Salem 7 has now entered the chat. And because they entered the chat, it feels better. Because they entered the chat, they're all now running for their lives. And it was interesting because they begin to try to figure a way out, figuratively. They were able to tear apart limbs from a tree and cast some magical spell on them so that they would be able to use them to fly. And it was interesting just kind of seeing how everybody in the group is kind of starting to gel now, and it's starting to like be more so comrades. At least that's what it seems at first. And so especially one specific member and the team. And so they're flying away, and of course, they're trying to make their great escape from the Salem 7 because they don't want to be killed, or they don't want to be unalived. This is YouTube, I forgot. But so they're sitting there going through that process and trying to run away, and the Witch's Road calls them back down to the third trial. They enter the third trial, and through the process of them entering the third trial, it's like it almost looks like a early 80s type of crib. It seems like every house that they go in has a different decor, not only in the house, but they all end up being dressed in a different decor. And you can tell with each house it's like a different decade of fashion, and this one was kind of seemed like 80s fashion, and it was interesting. They were trying to figure out what was going on with the trial. It led them to a Ouija board. They used the Ouija board and to figure out what was going on with the trial and what they needed to do to solve the trial. It proceeded in the ghost of Agatha's mom coming to fruition in the trial, and pretty much telling the entire crew, hey, leave her with me and y'all go finish the road by yourselves. And that can be Agatha's punishment, is to be here in the Witch's Road and be left in the Witch's Road and not actually complete the Witch's Road. And it was interesting because Aubrey Plaza's character, of course, was like, no, you can't have her. And it kind of came off a little weird, but it was just like, not because they have already hinted at them kind of having a thing, but it was just the way she said it kind of came off weird. And so then Agatha's mother's ghost proceeds to take control of Agatha and try to pretty much terrorize the group and use Agatha to just cause harm and possibly unalive some of the members of the group. And as she's proceeding to do that, the Coven's trying to figure out what they can do to rescue Agatha, and the member of the coven that was close with the teen, she ends up, I can't remember her name, but the member of the coven that was close with the teen, she ends up using her powers to try to separate Agatha from her mother. And in the process of her doing that, unfortunately, anytime Agatha gets hit with magic, she has a tendency to absorb all of the magical power from the person that's hitting her with it and killing them and unaliving them. Yeah, I'm still new. But it ends up unaliving them because she's taken all of their magical power. And she did that to the Salem Seven's parents, which is why the Salem Seven are trying to unalive Agatha. And unfortunately, in this particular instance, you could kind of see the wheels turning in Agatha's head as she's getting hit with the magical power. And it was kind of sad. Like, low-key, it was kind of sad. It was just like, dang, you didn't have to do her like that. And it was just like, she was getting hit with it. It was just like, oh, shoot, she's trying to rescue me. But then it was just like, oh, shoot, she hit me with magic, and now I can get my powers back. So I'm just going to take all of this. And she just pretty much absorbed all of the young ladies' magical power, and now the young lady is unalived. And of course, that upsets the entire ragtag group of individuals that are with her. And it's just like, you've been wanting to do this the whole time. You didn't have to take away her whole magical power. You didn't have to unalive her. You could have stopped. She was like, no, I couldn't control it. That's what she kept saying. And I was like, nah. You've done this too many times before. Like, you wanted to do this. You felt the power and you wanted to do this. So it pretty much puts Agatha against the whole group. Except for Aubrey Plaza, she still looks like she still is having grace and sympathy for Agatha. And so it was just a lot going on. It was a lot going on. And as she was absorbing the magical power, another message came through during the trial from Nicholas Scratch, which is supposed to be Agatha's son. And you hear a little kid saying stop, and that's what causes Agatha to stop. And but unfortunately, it was too late for the individual she was absorbing magic from. And Agatha kind of takes the whole the teen, of course, rushes to the young lady's aid, and Agatha is trying to comfort the teen. The teen's flipping out like, yo, nah, you knew what you was doing. She was like, I couldn't control it. He was like, nah, you knew what you was doing. And she knew what she was doing, but she knew what she was doing. But that's big cap. You knew what you was doing. But it's just interesting. It's just interesting to see him kind of go off on her a little bit, because he's kind of been like up under her the whole time. So it's interesting to see his character growth in that area. And so she kind of, in the whole hullabaloo, she kind of ends up sneaking out and going back out to the Witch's Road to kind of, I guess, gather herself and gather her thoughts. And the other two members of the ragtag group cut the corner as well, start fussing at her, and she's just like, I didn't have any control or whatever. And then they go back and forth for a little bit, and then the teen comes around the corner pissed, and him and Agatha have words, and then Agatha says something that kind of sets him off. She said something to the effect of, you act just like your mother, and or you're just like your mother's son, or what, something to the effect of you acting just like your mama. And anybody who grew up in a black household know the mama off limits. You just can't be throwing around mamas. That's just not how that go. But there's only one black person on this particular show, so of course, as soon as she said that to the teen, he flips out, and you see him start to, like, you see his hands start to twitch a little bit with some magic, and he has blue magic. And the only other person we've seen with blue magic was Wanda's son, Wicked. So I'm just saying, I got it from jump. We know the teen is wicked. They try to throw us off the scent. They say he was Mephisto, or say he was Nicholas Scratch, Agatha's son, but Aubrey Plaza confirmed that that's not her son, and kind of figured it wasn't going to be Mephisto. But anyway, You see him stirring up with magic. He gets pissed off in his emotions and kind of goes off, fires magic at Agatha, knocking her into mud. And of course, she starts to sink down. Well, actually, not knocking her into mud, but he actually mind controlled the other 2 members of the group, and they put her in the mud, and she sunk all the way in the bottom. And then, as they were sitting there, as they were all sitting there, he got even more upset and kind of did like this mad explosion of magic and knocked the other 2 into the mud, and they got sucked up into the mud as well. Whole time Aubrey Plaza's character was conveniently missing, so I know there's hints and rumors that she might be Lady Death, and that would be interesting that they introduce a cosmic being this particular way. But hey, they've done stranger things. So I'm with this particular episode. It ended after he knocked all of them in the mud. You kind of see a slow pan to Wiccan's face, and it kind of pans out a little bit, and you see the crown on his head, and it just, episode cuts off right there. So, like I said from jump, the teen is Wiccan. I knew it. I called it. I said it. Most of y'all knew it. Most of y'all said it. Most of y'all called it. They thought they were slick. They thought they could pull the wool over our eyes, but obviously the teen is Wiccan. And I'm interested to see how we get to bringing Wanda back from this point and how this is going to continue, because it's called Agatha all along. It ain't called Wiccan. So if he'd unalived all 3 remaining members, how he gonna finish the trials? So clear, it's something gonna happen where they gotta be brought back. I just feel that. And I'm not too sure if everybody else's unaliving is gonna remain permanent as well, but we shall see with the continuing of this story. But this particular episode, like I said, it was pretty interesting. It was kind of very heavy as far as like facing your past and facing the issues that you've had in the past and how to handle them properly and how to deal with them, and how to face them incorrectly and properly. But so it kind of just reminded you that you can't really run from your past, and that's kind of been everything they've been facing in the trials, has been just something that has to deal with their past in each individual trial with each individual person in the coven. So I'm interested to see how the rest of this show is going to develop. I believe it's 8 episodes, so that means we got 3 left. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go, how this is going to play out. But yeah, as far as my rating, I'll probably give it, I'm not going to hold you, I'll probably give it like an 8.5, 8.5. I'll probably give it like an 8.5. It was a decent episode. It was dope. It was a dope reveal at the end. Dope character moments for each individual person. It was actually a pretty good episode. And so, like I said, I'm interested to see how the rest of this develops. Let me know in the comments below. Have you been watching it? Do you plan on watching it? Have you been keeping up with it? How did you feel about the reveal? If you have seen it, how do you feel about the episode so far up until this point? And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime that we actually put up a new video on the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and with your help, I know we can get there. We cruised past 300, and now we're continually working our way to more subscribers every day. So continue to hit that subscribe buttons, continue to hit that notification bell, and never forget, it's FreeSoul to the show free. Let's get it.